call Allah Yahawah, Bahashem Yahawashi, Bahashem Rahakradash. Double honors to the elder apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone who rule well, for teaching this word in truth and sincerity. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect scattered abroad, and peace and salutations to the sincere Akim that's pushing his word in truth and sincerity. To USA Shalom. This is Isaiah 45:7. I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, the Lord Yahawah, Bahashem Yahawashi, do all these things. So you have a lot of people out here that just don't get it. You know, they think the Lord Yahawah, Bahashem Yahawashi is all love and no balance. You know, there's a perfect harmony. There's a balance to this thing. You know, there's positive and negative, just like you have in electricity. You have good and evil, and the Lord Yahawah, Bahashem Yahawashi creates all these things. So this is an article of a man. He was a rock climber. I'll just go ahead and read the title. A rock climber plunges 260 feet to his death in front of his horrified girlfriend, and his rope suddenly snapped during climbing. So you mean to tell me that just happened? No. The Lord Yahawah, Bahashem Yahawashi puts an expiration date on us, man. You know, all men has an expiration date. The nation of Israel has an expiration date because of their sins they committed. You know, in the garden, listening to Eve. Eve was beguiled by the snake, which was another nation of people. You know, she listened to their doctrines. She followed their way of life. And she brought it home to her husband. She brought it home to Adam. And because Adam, you know, didn't shut it down, but, you know, the Most High put that spirit on him not to shut it down, you know. So he went along with the plan. And through Eve, you know, the first sin was committed. Adam followed her, you know. So through her, we all have an expiration date now. That's the nation of Israel. We have an expiration date. But this just goes to show you this particular article that the Most High does these things, man. You know, I'm pretty sure, you know, he's an expert. You know, I ain't gonna say expert because I don't know, but he's an experienced mountain climber. You know, so you test your ropes. You make sure that your ropes are, you know, up to par, not worn out. You know, you make sure that they're not deteriorating. You know, make sure that they're not, you know, because ropes, they have a dehydration too. So when ropes are brittle, they'll snap. You know, they'll snap right on you. But I'm pretty sure this dude made sure that everything was up to par before he did that climb. But the Most High had other plans, man, for this dude. So, you know, he pretty much X'd them out, man. I'm not going to read the whole article, but a couple of snippets out of the article. A climber has died in front of his girlfriend after plunging 260 feet when his rope snapped during a daring mountain ascent. His name was Igor. Igor was attempting to scale Morro de Panta Agada Aguda in Brazil, and you know, he pretty much plunged to his death. So this is This is the work of the Most High, Yahawah Bashem Yahawashi. You know, so when you think that you could do anything, you think you're gonna live forever, you know, you think that everything is going good, the Most High could just take you out in a heartbeat, you know, take you out in an instant. This is Proverbs 16:1 in the G&T. We make our plans, but power, you know, God, when you look it up in the in the blue letter, when you look it up in the Hebrew, it means Elohim. You know, powers, angels, rulers, judges. And when you look up the root of the word, it simply means powers. So I'll read that again. We have made our plans, or we make our plans, but powers has the last word. So you could think that you can go on doing what you do, go on your daily, just thinking that nothing's gonna happen. Nothing might happen today, tomorrow. It might not happen for a while. But the Lord Yahawah Bashem Yahawashi knows when it's time for you to be exited out of here and go back to the spirit world. This is another article. This one was kind of bugged out. You know, Jake wigged out. The title reads, "Beloved teacher dismembered and flushed down the toilet in worst crime ever." This is not the worst crime ever. The worst crime ever is Esau Edom putting his hands on the nation of Israel and not letting go of his yoke. That's the most horrific crime ever. This is just another case of Yahawah Bashem Yahawashi executing judgment, a righteous judgment. You know, no telling what this woman has done, or what this guy did in their past lives where they had to be judged. But I'll read a few snippets out of this. Disturbing details have emerged from authorities regarding the murder of a cherished teacher and mother in Mississippi early this month. Zachary Jackson, 29, faces charges of first and second degree murder, mayhem, and attempting and tampering with evidence in relation to the death of his mother, 62-year-old Lene Brown Bradley, a retired teacher. On April 4th, investigators arrived at Bradley's home to conduct a welfare check when they discovered her deceased with Adams County's Sheriff Travis Patton responding officers encountered Bradley's youngest son attempting to dispose of some of her remains down the toilet. So this is just another case of Yahawah Bashem Yahawashi's righteous judgment. You know, this goes to show you that he creates all things. He makes all things happen. He set forth the motion, you know, the things that go on this planet, the things that go on in this world, in this universe. These are his plans. This is not our plans. So we don't know what these people have done in a previous life, you know. But the Most High used her son, her youngest son, to take her out, you know. It may seem horrific, it may seem tragic, horrifying, you know, but at the same time, who are we to question the Most High's judgment? Because all his judgments, all his ways are righteous. This is Ecclesiastes 12:7. Then shall the dust return to the earth as it was, and the spirit shall return unto powers who gave it. So, everybody gets all overwhelmed and confounded with death. But death is just a normal course here. And people are, kind of selfish because they feel like they won't be able to have any more interactions with that person, which is rightful. It's right. You won't. It's rightfully so. You won't have no more interaction with this person in this carnal world. But that soul was delivered back to the Most High. It gets put back on this shelf. It dwells with the Most High until it's time for that spirit to be, regenerated, reborn, reincarnated. So, these things happen and gonna happen, But who are we to question the will of the Most High? This is Isaiah 14:24. The Lord of hosts have sworn, saying, surely I have thought, so it shall come to pass. And as I have purposed, so it shall stand. So all the things that go on here, man, is through the righteous works of the Most High, Yahawah B'Hashem Yahawashi. Now, in this particular article, I read it, but I only wanted to give a little snippet. If you want to look it up, you can go ahead and look it up, But her son, he had this look about him, like he had demons on him, And the welfare check was conducted by the sheriff, but it was brought upon by the oldest son. The oldest son said, you know what, man, I haven't heard from my mother in a bit. Call the sheriff to go check up on her. And in the article, they had when they got to the property, they started finding remains on the property. They found a head and other body parts. He had cleaned up the house, and they kind of like, the brother kind of found that suspicious when they told him that they would clean up the house and things of that nature. They didn't know who the remains belonged to. They just know they found remains. But upon the welfare check, the house was cleaned. It smelled like cleaning agents. And in the article, the brother was like, man, that dude don't clean up, So they pretty much, made, they that's how they made the discovery, because of the brother, the oldest brother was like, nah, that ain't right, because that dude doesn't clean up, So when they went back, they found that he was trying to flush the remains down the toilet. But this guy, he looks like he has demons on him, It's another in the carnal world, it's just another bugged out scenario. But like I said, we don't know what type of goings-on these people had in the previous life, whether they committed atrocities, whether they were worshiping other gods, and we don't know what they were doing. But all we know is that this person was taken out by her son. So that was two judgments in one. She got judged, and he's about to face a judgment. He's about to spend the rest of his life in prison. But that just goes to show you the works of the Most High, Yahawah B'Hashem Yahawashi. And you can't escape judgment. Whether you being judged now or you being judged later or being judged during the destruction of Babylon, you gonna be judged by the Most High. This is Lamentations 3 and 37 and 38. Who is he that saith, and it cometh to pass, when the Lord commandeth it not? Out of the mouth of the Most High proceedeth not evil and good. So just another scripture to show you that the Most High does these things. So when people look at it and they like, how could the Lord let this happen? The Lord is a man of balance, man. He's a God of war, and he's a man of balance. So good gonna happen, and quote unquote evil is gonna happen. But it's all in righteousness. It's all in the effects of upholding a balance here. So you can't get irate, you can't get distort because of what's going on, what happens to people. Just know that the Most High has his own plan, and his ways are not your ways, his thoughts are not your thoughts. So you don't know why he took these people out or why he did what he did. And it's not for you to understand. Ephesians 1 and 11, in whom also we have obtained an inheritance, being predestined according to the purpose of him who worketh all things after the counsel of his own will. So there's a predestination here. We all have an expiration date, but we all hope to see that day of judgment. If you are of the elect, if you are of that predestination, you wanna be around to see that destruction. You wanna see the Lord's return, and hopefully be delivered into those chariots. But if you are of the elect and you have an expiration date that won't allow for you to see that judgment, allow for you to be delivered into the chariots, But if you are of that number, you'll be risen up, You'll be risen up in that day. So the Lord works a righteous works here, man. The Lord Yahawashi is righteous in all his ways, works, and wonders. It is not for you to understand. It's just for you to receive and accept that his ways are not your ways. His thoughts are not your thoughts. And he's going to work a magnificent work here. And we see it. We see the works being done. It's we coming up on the 250th anniversary of Babylon the Great, which is known as the spirit of Sodom and Egypt. Spirit of all these different wicked kingdoms that was before it. This is the second leg of the Roman Empire, and it's coming to an end. And this place gotta go. All the wickedness that's going on between Jake women fucking twerking their damn hearts out, committing all sorts of atrocities. Jake men doing the same thing, just out here trying to live their best heathen life. And then you have Esau, Edom, they committing atrocities daily. Heathen nations committing atrocities daily to the Most High, They worship pagan idols, They do everything, and it seems like people do everything in their power to, pull themselves away further and further from the will of the Most High, Yahawashi, as far as, being upright, But at the end of the day, you also got to realize that this is the spirit that he put on these people. 2/3 of Israel must be purified of fire. Esau, Edom must be purified with fire. Here in Babylon, you know, and the elite of Esau, Edom will be the first to go into captivity upon the Lord's return. And these heathen nations are going to follow suit, you know. They're going to get in line. They're going to go back to everybody going to go back to their natural habitat, you know, their natural land. And everybody going to fall in line, man, according to biblical law. So we're watching the Most High slowly but surely, brick by brick, destroy Babylon and destroy those imposters that's in our land. Those small hats. There was a phrase that was brought up yesterday in camp. What they call them? Hood rats with hats, you know. So these people are witnessing a great work by the Most High Yahawah B'Hashem Yahawashi. You know, there's all sorts of plagues happening all over the world, particularly in the Levant, you know, where they had, I think of like a year ago or a couple of years ago, they had an infestation of crows. This year is an infestation of bees. These are plagues. The beginning of great works, man. This is the beginning of all sorts of plagues that's about to hit this place, hit the world, or hit the earth rather. And it's starting with those tiny tops, man. It's starting with those people over there, those imposters that's raped, robbed, and pillaged our land. Those who have committed great atrocities in our land, abominations in our land. You know, that place over there, man, they desolated it so bad that, you know, it's a rest haven for pedos now, you know, and all sorts of wickedness. But at the same time, man, this is the work of the Most High, Yahawah B'Hashem Yahawashi. He set all these things in motion. This is his story. So all we can do is play our roles in it. This is Ecclesiasticus, the Sirach 39, verse 28 and 29. There be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. In the time of destruction, they pour out their forces. So like they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them. Fire and hail and famine and death, all these were created for vengeance. So we're watching vengeance of the Most High, Yahawah B'Hashem Yahawashi. We're watching his works. We're watching him, you know, pretty much cleanse this place. Slowly but surely, man, this place will be cleansed. It's a build-up, man. You start off with it, you know what I'm saying? You start off with these deaths, these plagues. You're gonna start off with pestilence, and you know, you got famines. He said he's gonna bring fire, hail, famine, and death. So just expect it to get ramped up, man. And you know, upon his return, this thing's gonna get ramped up, man. You're gonna start seeing all sorts of things. You know, things that you thought you would never see. Things that Esau, Edom have put on TV as folly. You're gonna start to see it come to fruition. You're gonna start to see all these things come to pass. Psalms 97 and 10. Ye that love the Lord, Yahawah B'Hashem Yahawashi, hate evil. He preserveth the souls of his saints. He delivereth them out of the hand of the wicked. So we hope we're part of that elect. You know, hopefully we will be delivered out of the hand of the wicked. We won't face that nuclear destruction. You know, he preserved the souls of the saints. So hopefully, you know, we are part of that. You know, continue in the truth, continue delivering his message. You know, continue to be faithful. Continue to have faith in Yahawah B'Hashem Yahawashi, and do as he commanded us to do. You know, sometimes it gets a little hard out here in Babylon because the place is so damn wicked, and you can get caught up in just, you know, going through this day to day here. But the whole goal, man, is to keep your eyes on the straight gate, stay focused on the Most High, Yahawah B'Hashem Yahawashi, in truth and sincerity. Keep up the faith. stay disciplined in the truth, continue to study and build on this thing. This next article is a Kentucky couple sentenced to 20 years after torturing kids. One had to suck the insulation out of the walls for water. A Kentucky couple is headed to prison for 20 years after cops discovered a house of horrors when children were tortured. See, this is just another case of why this place has to go, man. People have all sorts of spirits on them, man. All sorts of demons on them, man. You know. This is an Edomite couple here who, or it appears to be an Edomite couple. You know. The way they look and the nature of the story, man. These people might be, you know, most definitely might be Edomites, because for you to torture kids is you got to have a real demon on you. You have to have a real evil spirit on you. You know, and it's all for the money. You know, I'm not. You could look that article up too. I'm not gonna really go into the whole article. You know, but these people are wicked, man. You know, a few years back, you had a couple of Edomites in Virginia that had a couple of swarthy, you know, appeared to be Israelite children, you know, on their land, you know, compound, house, whatever you want to call it. They had them living in a barn for like 3 or 4 years. You know, so these people are wicked, man. They're evil, you know, and that's the spirit that this place has on it, man, because it has all these different kingdoms that ruled in the past. It has the spirit of all these different wicked kingdoms all rolled up into one, which makes this Babylon the Great. And this is why the Most High has to destroy this place. He has to like turn this place into a desolation, man. Only where wild beasts roam, you know. After the fire, man, the only thing that, you know what I'm saying, after the destruction and that, you know, that hellfire from the missiles and from the chariots, when they turn this place into a lake of fire, man, this place is going to be a desolation. This is going to be a place where wild beasts hang. You know, this way wild beasts going to roam and dwell. It won't be habitable for man. And rightfully so, man. This place is going to be a place for the history books, you know, in the kingdom. You're going to show your kids like, yo, man, this place here was the most wickedest place you could ever find on the planet, you know? And rightfully so, man, because anything that an Edomite touches, man, they pretty much destroy, man. Everywhere they go, they create a famine. They create pestilence, you know? They rape, rob, and murder and pillage lands. That was given to them, man. They were given the blessing of the sword. So that's how they rule. They rule with the sword, and they create all these different you know, diseases and famines, whether it be famine of the food, famine of water, you know, famine of what God you know, Most High Yahawashi created. You know, they destroy it, man. And this place has to be just destroyed, man. It can't come back. You know, it can't come back from what it's been through. What is it, you know, the things that has been done here. So I'm gonna go back to Isaiah 45:7. I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, the Lord, Yahawah, Bahashem Yahawashi, do all these things. And to go back to Ecclesiastes 12:7, then shall the dust return to the earth as it was, and the spirit shall return unto powers who gave it. So, you know, all these things must come to pass. All these wicked deeds must happen because there is a balance, you know. So just know that the Most High Yahawah Bashem Yahawashi has a plan. This is his story. This is how he's going about bringing the nation of Israel back to righteousness and setting up the kingdom of heaven. This is the last article I have at the moment, and it's about your man Nero and his silly ass. Trump's 15-foot gold statue of himself at his Florida golf course compared to North Korea's dear leader. So, this fool, and he is a fool, but he's set up to be the fool. He's set up by the small hats, the leader of the small hats, which is the top wicked elite bankers, and he's setting up his own idol, an idol of himself. He actually considered himself to be a god. The way he walked with pride and vanity, the way he disrespect other people, he is the king of the wicked. At the moment, he is the king of wickedness. He might not be as wicked as those elite bankers, but he's definitely up there in his wickedness, man. And he's proud of his wickedness, man. He says the most idiotic shit. He's very uneducated. If you really look at it, man, if you really get to the root of who Nero is, man, because this guy is the reincarnation of Nero Caesar and his acts, man, his actions, and he's just a wicked animal, man. Like, he's a treacherous Edomite, man. And hopefully he's around when the Most High Yahawah Yahawashi comes back, man. So he can get dragged into chains, get dragged into slavery, get dragged into that captivity, and immediately put his ass to work, along with those wicked elite bankers. All these wicked elite people, man, who makes billions of dollars, trillions of dollars. They're gonna work their ass off in the kingdom, man. They're gonna have dirt up underneath their fingernails, toenails. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna go back to the wild man, but they're gonna be under the yoke, of the Lord's elect, and they're gonna put their asses to work. This is Psalms, Salakia. This is Deuteronomy 32. And I'm going to read verses 39 through 41. See now that I, even I, am he, and there is no God, there is no powers with me. I kill and I make alive. I wound and I heal. Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand. For I lift up my hand to heaven and say, I live forever. If I whet my glittering sword in my hand that hold on judgment, I will render vengeance to mine enemies and reward them that hate me. That's right. So this is just another verse to let you know how the Lord Yahawashi is righteous in all his ways, works and wonders, and how he get down. So when you really look at it, man, he's setting Nero up for a great fall. This dude gonna fall right on his face, man. And when he look up, his ass gonna be in captivity, along with these wicked elite bankers and all these other goofy ass Edomites that that have their yoke on the people. He's setting them up for a great fall, man. He's setting this place up lovely for a great takedown. This is Malachi 1:14. But cursed be the deceiver, which have in his flock a male, and voweth and sacrificeth unto the Lord Yahawah Ba'ashem Yahawashi a corrupt thing. For I am a great king, saith the Lord Yahawah Ba'ashem Yahawashi. Of hosts. Hosts meaning armies of angels. And my name is dreadful among the heathen. So these people, they do the things they do, man. They worship these pagan idols. They create pagan idols because they can't call upon the name of the Most High Yahawah Ba'ashem Yahawashi. That name is dreadful among the heathen. You know, that's why they call them Alasaja. You know, terrible demon-like power. These people are they're afraid of the Most High Yahawah Ba'ashem Yahawashi, but at the same time, they disrespect the Most High Yahawah Ba'ashem Yahawashi in all their ways, works, and wonders. You know, because they try to create a wonderful work here, but it's all in wickedness, man. And they prove it time and time again, man. These people are the wicked, man. Job 9:24, man. The earth is given unto the hands of the wicked. You know. And you know, these are simple creatures, man. They are the wild man. They're the beast, man. That was spoken of in Planet of the Apes, man. They'll destroy themselves in an attempt to destroy others. To create a paradise, they'll destroy themselves and try to create some sort of weird utopia. But when they come down with that MOTB, man, and they try to force the people to take that thing, you know, try to force your hand in order to take it, you know. That's how we know it, yo. This thing is really popping. Like, we are already close, man. We just need, we just need a couple of more things to happen, man, where they implement that MOTB, man, and get this thing really moving. But it's all based on the Most High's timetable. So hopefully the Lord speed this thing up, man. We get the hell up out of here, man, because Babylon is one wicked place, man. It's just tired of being around it, man. Just tired of being here, man. Ready to get back, go home, and, you know, set up a righteous kingdom, man. Get away from these silly ass Edomites in this fashion, man. Put their asses to work for a change. You know, wipe that stupid ass look off their face. You know, purify our people. You know, 2/3 of our people gotta be purified. So let them get purified through that fire, and they'll come back in the kingdom, you know, refreshed, perfect, you know, born through the Lord's elect. They'll come back perfect. You know, the Lord will perfect his elect, and we'll take down them Edomites and them heathen nations, man, and start to rule this world in righteousness, man. Because it's time. It's definitely time. Because, you know, just tired of being here in this wicked ass society, man. Babylon the Great is just one wicked place, man, and it has to be taken out, man. It has to be taken down. But it's time, you know, patiently waiting, you know. So with that, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahawah Ba'ashem Yahawashi Ba'ashem Rahak Radash Abad Babal.